Welcome to the Saturday Top-Up Show, Rosehill today, and weather is hanging in there, and the forecast seems to have watered down a touch for this afternoon, so we might get away with.
I'm loving it.
I'm loving a few races.
You're always loving it, Gord.
I was really worried about that forecast a couple of days ago, but look, 2 to 4 mils, I reckon now, Mark, later in the arvo.
Yeah, but you don't want it during the meeting. That's all. You just it's disaster during the meeting, and that's where it's forecast. But a little bit more hopeful that it won't actually rain until later. Other than that, light scratchings, 10 plus 4 emergencies. So that's a good result as well, Glenn.
It's a great result, guys. Terrific. We're on the money in the first race with all this money.
There's a bit of action in the first race. With 8,500 matched on Smart Image there, and
wow, look at that, Gord.
Can you see that screen?
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, so $3 wanted there, Smart Image. 6,500 matched on Hot and Hazy, sitting around the $5 mark at the moment.
And a small promo there lies the strength of the previous shows. So Hot and Hazy it was the favourite yesterday, and we said, well, this might be favourite. And it looks to be heading north, and Smart Image looks to be heading south, which was prognosticated by us, but more so you and Gord for sure.
Well, yeah, Ducks and Drakes there. That you just saw 2,000 wanted at $3. There's been no further matching, and yet that $3 has disappeared. So it is the nature of the Betfair beast, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's nature of the Betfair beast is like walking on the edge of a cliff, and the object is to not fall down, but also get as close as you can. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, $4.20 was a lovely price. It's definitely its right price now at 2 to 1. Only horse I'm interested in, but
yeah, it is it's one of the features of the day, this 2-year-old race, because you're obviously dealing with lightly raced, potentially talented horses.
That race is just quickly typical of me the next day when I don't like a horse, but I end up backing a lot of losers because of price. Like $17 number one. Like, come on, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Probably be good odds and it'll get beat. Like Gord says, what are you doing, Glenn? You're a fucking idiot.
Anyway, moving right along, because we've got to get to the track, Glenn. Race 2.
I was doing a Lamborn then.
You were, weren't you?
Yeah.
Race 2, this is a fraught race. I think that the situation will become clearer by parade and a bit closer to start time, because obviously we're dealing with resumers from the Waller stable, Super Oasis and Willow Heart are key resumers. A little more, yeah. I mean, what do I say? What can you say, Gord? Are you actually going to play this race?
Yeah, I sort of have to, because I had down after last preparation and trials to have something on Willow Heart, but I think the market's pretty mature here with the 4 horses in the money being the 4 major chances.
Yeah.
I think that's good commentary there, Gord. It is a mature-looking market there.
Oh, they're fairly mature horses in the sense that they're not overly...
But people who follow dreams, which I don't, I dreamt last night Constellations won, so I don't even know what that fucking means.
Wow.
How often do you dream of a horse race? How are the weekly events? Every night.
I dream of the betting ring every night.
Right.
I dream of the betting ring. I dream about horses winning about once a month. And when I first started to dream about horses, about the first 5 won, and since then it's run with SP.
Okay.
It was exciting after the first 5. I thought, oh, look at this! I found the keys to the kingdom.
That's right. The subconscious lurking within. Nothing exciting about this highway. It's pretty much as you were. I don't know if we can actually add anything this morning. Gord mentioned on the show yesterday that the Snooper Star was a horse of interest. But Glenn, you're raising the bat on this race, I believe.
Yeah, I'm raising the bat, but I am interested now in Snooper Star. I watched the tapes last night, and I liked what Gord said about it. Gord sold me into it. I never.
It's more a price thing, isn't it? Because I'm with you guys. I found this a very hard race.
Yeah.
I think it's right. $15 or $14, you can throw something on it, Gord. I think you're on the right track there, and I can see it as paying 10 to 1.
Okay, I won't dwell on that. Race 4. Look, I don't think this actually helped Roher in this scratching of number 1. What do you say, Glenn?
I think that's interesting. And I think that's fair commentary.
Yeah, because it just seemed to take a touch of the juice out of the race. Obviously, you've got looks like Starboy just leads Eduardo, and whilst you sort of hope that that's a sort of embrace a prime candidate sort of setup. I don't know. I feel a bit icky, but Gord, you're all good.
Yeah, still sticking solid with it. Yeah, I mean, the question, it's up and running. It was dynamic last start. There's question marks about these other ones in the market who are first up, and they haven't really proven themselves to me yet. So I've got to be against them, but, yet again, they could do something.
Glenn, it's funny because when number one came out this morning, I just straight away remembered the Chess Star race, which of course Roheron featured prominently in as the very short priced tailed off, and that was the same distance, the same track. It was obviously a drier track. It was in November of 2018 or so. But it's just.
I think at the time though, Mark, we had that horse pinned at the time as a superstar, and I think the rider just thought, "I'm on a superstar."
Yeah.
And of course, now we kind of know its form, and
yeah. There's no messing around anymore.
So it's had the ultimate gear change as well too since then.
Indeed. And he didn't get ballsed up, did he, Glenn?
No.
He got ballsed out. The staying race, there's a little bit of matching there on number one, which remains mid-fours. Other than that, we just lost the bottom one out of the race. Love Seat looks to be the sort of go-to horse for many types. It's the trial to sit there in a reasonable position, but I was all over number one. And thought that the 2,400 metre form of Desert Paths race was to be avoided. Not usually my style, so we'll see how that goes. Anything to add there, Glenn?
No, Mark. No, I'm surprised that Love Seat's still so solid. I thought it should be a bit longer, but not really. I don't even want to say that because when you say that, they come out and fucking win.
But this show is about opinions, so it's no
I'm surprised it's sitting there at 4-1. Like 9-2.
Okay. Anything from you, Gord, or we'll just move right along? I mean, I know you're
there's only one horse you can back, and you determine what price you want to take. That's number one.
Race, the 3-year-old race. Waller pulled a few of his wide draws out, not changing the race too much. Look, 9,000 matched on Trevest at this stage seems a lot of matching. You can imagine that a horse in race one, which is on in 2 hours, might have 9,000 of matching, but not. This is 2:45, where 5 and a bit hours out from this race. Seems a fair bit happening there.
Well, I think it's that type of horse. It's a horse that people love, and with the draw, the horse, the layers can say, "Well, fuck you can't win," and I think that's fair commentary for that horse. Again, I think it's a fair price.
Having a look at the grid, which you can't see, the graph, it appears to be a bit of funny buggers there. Squiggly line.
A surprise number one so solid.
Well, it makes its own luck, I suppose. There it is. It's got a couple of Rosehill runs. One is a short prize. One is in the finish, and what you see is what you get, isn't it?
Yeah, Rosehill 8-metre rail. People might be having a stab that it's
talking to some people that are involved in the ownership and particularly unhappy with that win.
With which win?
The 8-length win.
They're unhappy.
Yeah, bumped it up like 8 instead of 4. Too much in the rating.
Oh, okay, right.
It has for the rest of its life. It'll carry 2 kilos more than it should every race. Going forward, it's just made it trickier. All because Nash wanted to they're very unhappy.
Okay,
not part of racing.
Right, it is, isn't it?
And an interesting part.
Yes. So look, the map has the official map has suggested that Trevest will settle closer. That's, I guess, it's easy enough to make a case for Trevest. Frosty Rocks has got the Rosehill form, and Dancing Gidget looks an interesting runner, off a big win. So a bit of a contest. The feature, you call it the feature, the listed race on the card. Looks pretty bearish. A bit of interest there in Order Again, who was the unlucky runner in the lead up 2 weeks ago. But it's sort of yuck poo to everything. A Special Missile is nice and firm there off its Caloundra defeat. And Mugger 2, obviously one of the most interesting resumers on the day. I suppose the parade is key, but Gord,
Main reason I'm going to the racecourse, guys, is to go see Mugger 2 in the flesh. Can't wait to see him.
Yeah, happy enough with the trial, Gord.
Happy enough with the trial. Only decision to be made in this race, because I think it's obvious number 3 is the best horse in the race, and that is whether it is right, which we'll find out from the mounting yard with about 5 minutes before they jump. And do you want to take that kind of price about a horse where this is definitely not its grand final?
Yeah, it is one of those decisions. You've expressed it well. All right, the penultimate is the 1,300 metre benchmark 88. Prime Canada's looking particularly solid there. I'm wondering if he's a bit too obvious. He's certainly primed for this race. So we mentioned on the show that Outback Diva was obviously a key runner on the day. And other than that, our good man Dave Potter mentioned on YouTube that New King was balloted out of the highway. So he was supposed to resume in a 1,500 metre highway, which seems almost unfair, doesn't it?
It's a bit of a difference in quality, I think, and distance, like crazy.
Instead, he ends up in the 1,300 metre benchmark 88. So they're a long way apart, those two races. Anyway, it's a bit of game on. It could be interesting the tactics employed on You Make Me Smile here, who hasn't found the line in his 2 runs back since having that. Did he have a tie-back operation or something? But
he's got the reverse barrier switch there.
Yeah, look, his best runs have been when he's just made all. So I wonder if he might be there to try and wrest the lead away from Prime Candidate, which would certainly open the race up a little bit. And the last race is 1,100 metres. We lost the bush horse down the bottom, and Varda is sitting there mid $2 range. Looks her race to lose, because it is very difficult to actually make a case for much in this race, and it's it's sort of 6 to 4, and then I guess you're looking at $8 or $9 bar there. Glenn, any last minute thoughts on this?
I can only tip you the favourite there, Mark, and I think $2.40, $2.50 is fair price.
Yeah, it seems fair, Gord. Or I think you.
I agree with Glenn, because it's got map options from there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be a situation. It's got the early toe to take a position if it has to, and it can also take a sit. So if, I can't get carried away if there is significant bias established by this race to talk me out of not backing it.
Mm. Okay, well, look, that's a top-up look at Rosehill. Obviously, not a lot changed in between the filming of the show yesterday and today, which is usually the purpose of the top-up show. But you're mad if you don't try us out at RacingRant, because you get the first 2 weeks free. And if you open an account with Dave Dwyer and chuck a monkey in there, you get another 4 weeks paid. So technically, you could have $500 to bet with and 6 weeks worth of rant if you haven't already done that, which I suggest you should. 5 shows a week, lots of content for every Sydney Metro meeting from myself and from Glenn. You get access to the chat room. Gord is large as life in the chat room, but there are some very, very, very enthusiastic, passionate and excellent judges in there. So I'd suggest that if you're not involved in the chat room, that's another very good reason to have a RacingRant subscription and get involved, because there's a lot of smart talk in there.
And don't forget to mention Dave Dwyer. Did you mention him?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Sorry. Yeah, Dave Dwyer's a bookie that lets you on. And
you just did mention him. Sorry. I'm going.
It's all right. You get in your car and get out to Rosehill, Glenn.
I'm excited to be out there and excited to see some people. Nothing like getting tips off a bloke who's on the early stages of Alzheimer's. At least I forget my losses.
Very good. Well, if you're not part of the community, we hope to see you soon. And those who are, thanks for being with us. And we'll catch you on Monday for the rant. Thanks, guys.
See you later, boys.
Hey, guys.
All sweet, Marcus? Can you hear me, Mark?
All good.